This is Carolla Digital. Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
Yo, what is going on, party people?
I have a feeling that I just blew out somebody's ears.
Yeah, probably. You just blew out mine.
So
Thanks for
sorry.
That. Yeah, I love it when you screen into the microphone.
Thank you for coming back to Hammer and Nails. I'm Alison Bedell.
And I am Skip Bedell. And
a lot of stuff to catch up on as far as our weekend, our long weekend.
That was a good time, right? If you guys haven't listened to the Ace show that we were on just last week. Oh, actually Monday, right?
It was Monday.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so by the time people listen to this on Friday, they would have heard the episode if they listened on Monday.
Yeah.
And then our episode from Tuesday we recorded before we left. So, yeah.
Right.
So if you haven't heard the Adam Carolla Show Monday's episode, it was a good one. It was a little cray-cray.
just
a little cray-cray.
Just a little bit cray-cray.
People need to keep in mind that we only have so much time while we're on the show, and so like your brain kind of goes crazy.
That was
like,
Monday the 16th.
Yeah, so you want to
November
like
16th.
squeeze in everything that you're thinking of that you want to try to squeeze in, and then there's things you forget, and then by the time it's over, you're like, fuck!
I like squeezing stuff in. Into you.
Oh, there's my horn
In
dog.
fact, we should
we're
probably
at
put this
2
on.
minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah, we should
Thank
put this
you.
on. Listen, I just got home from a long-ass day of work, all right? Fresh shower, clean out, ready to go. So I think we should pause this right now, and we should go try to squeeze.
My fresh shower was this morning, and
Yeah.
since then I had a $5 footlong. So you
no.
are just in a different boat than I am right
Did
now.
you see Jared?
Speaking of, actually, coincidentally, I saw online that
You're way too old for Jared anyway. He's not hitting on you. You have to.
Exactly.
You can't be any more than 8.
For which, well, actually, I think he was fucking 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds.
Oh, well, that's not bad. I mean,
yeah, that's okay because
yeah.
they're older. And,
Who doesn't want to fuck
and
a
they
16-year-old?
consented.
Yeah.
But he was actually just sentenced to 15 years plus, I saw somewhere plus 6 months plus 8 months. So he either got 15 and a half or 15
All I have
plus
to
8.
say, like, you ever see like this show where they talk about like how like the dumbest criminals and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a fucking moron, especially if you're a dude like him, right? That you have like this national campaign, this huge endorsement. He's making all kinds of money for just putting his fucking stupid face on a commercial eating a Subway.
But you know what? When you see a celebrity in
Sandwich.
person, sometimes they look different than what you've seen on TV. And a lot of people will say, you look like blah, blah. And you'd be like, yeah, I get that all the time. We've even done that.
Right. I mean, think about it. He didn't win any Nobel Prize or any Pulitzer fucking award. He's not a fucking rocket scientist. He's not like some philanthropist or whatever. The dude holds a Subway sandwich in his hand. He was like $3.50 and now he's like $200 because he's supposedly lost all that weight eating Subway.
Can I tell you what I heard about that?
What's that?
His defense was actually that after he had dramatically and drastically, quickly lost so much
Is that
weight.
a new word?
I don't know. I just made that one up. After he lost so much weight, he became hypersexualized, and it's actually Subway's fault.
Oh, yeah.
That he had
Well, of course.
this inappropriate sexual
Of course.
condition.
In fact, Subway should pay him more money in restitution and
he should sue fucking Subway.
Yeah, well-
so in other words, if
that'll be
you
next.
lose weight by eating Subway, you are now prone to having a hypersexual condition in which you might not be able to control yourself
Right.
and have to fuck underage children.
I think any good stop banging the table, please. You keep doing that.
I'm sorry, but you know what? Our cool new mics don't pick that shit up anymore.
No, I think it picked that one up for sure.
I don't think
I
so.
felt that over here. I think any good lawyer that's chasing ambulances on a regular basis would probably say, listen, we can get some punitive damages, that we can teach Subway a lesson for ever giving you that job and ever paying you millions of dollars to be a spokesperson. How
Right.
dare they turn
Right.
you into a pedophile?
Because they actually had like some expert testifying to this.
Oh my God! Could
Can you
you
believe the
imagine
bullshit?
what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Right? You know what? It's his fault. You fucked it up. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You chose to live your lifestyle publicly like that. If you're gonna do stupid stuff like that, especially like crazy shit like that, don't talk about it openly. Like he had no
Yeah, he was like in
reservations at all.
cahoots
He would
with
talk to
his
anyone.
like pedophile friend that worked with him at his organization that he had. And I know I banged the fucking table again. What can I say?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm
Listen,
Italian. I talk with my hands.
You know how he got busted, right? They were like following him for a long time on the internet.
I think it was the other guy they were following
and
first.
He was contacted like on the internet and then had multiple phone conversations. I guess remember that woman that was interviewed on TV that was talking about she had many conversations with him posing as a minor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she was disgusted and horrified by his, just how out in the open. He didn't try to, hide any of it. She asked some questions. So, you like, kids, and he, graphically described all the things that he likes to do. Yeah, that's when they pull the trigger. Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it. I thought, from what I recall seeing on TV was that the other guy, they took all of his shit, and then like an ancillary thing, they were taking Jared's shit, like just to like investigate the other guy, and don't worry, and Jared's cooperating, and then next thing you know, he was fucking kids.
Now you, Officer Bedell, I'm sure have had your fair share of pedophiles come across your desk, and I would imagine, could you say that these people, by and large, are open about their behavior, or do are they kind of like, are they looking over their shoulder, like trying to keep from getting caught, or are they just so immersed in this state of mind that they don't even care?
Well, for one, they feel, I'm not speaking for all of them, but like a general thing that you hear is that because that's how they feel, they don't feel that it's wrong. Like they feel like it's natural. Like that's what. It's okay.
Yeah, but they gotta know that if they get caught,
they are told by society that it's wrong, but they don't feel that it's wrong, and so therefore it is just a matter of trying to control their behavior because they are going to act on it, even though they know it's wrong.
I get all that. What I'm saying is everybody knows that if you rob a bank and get caught, you're probably doing 20 years in a federal penitentiary, right? So he knows what the consequences are by society, whether or not he thinks those consequences are justified. He knows if I get caught with naked kids on my computer, I'm going to jail. My point is, like, are they so, like, they just don't even, like, he seemed like he wasn't like, cautious.
You can't relate because, you haven't had like a sexual urge like that where you can't even like imagine that he has to act on it.
Right.
He's sick.
No, that's my question. If you're someone that's walking the line, or breaking the law, you're probably looking over your shoulder. You're probably not picking up the phone if you don't recognize the phone number. You're
probably got. I'm just guessing he got pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
he was like very well off.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder. Like, are they so just like out there that they just don't even? They think they're not catchable, or they just don't.
I'm sure plenty of people feel like that.
They just don't care, or like what is it, man? Because if you're a criminal, like you gotta like take precautions to not get caught.
All of them are very sneaky. They're very good at lying. They want you to think that they're doing the right thing. Like they're very, very fucking good at lying because even if they're not acting on their behaviors, they're doing something ancillary, like where they're trying to get away with it, like looking at pornography, kiddie pornography, when they're not supposed to be, or they're hanging out like by, a school where they're looking at kids somewhere. Like they're always fucking doing something that they shouldn't be, even if they're not touching someone.
Right.
Oh God.
You see this?
Hold on a minute.
Hey. Yeah, it just seems like, I guess they're just so in it mentally that they don't even look over their shoulder. They just don't, like they don't care.
No, it's about coming.
Wow. It's about busting a nut.
Yeah.
Well,
don't go into a pedophile's room with a black light.
Oh my God. I had a pretty crazy day myself with starting the first day on a big job, probably like that'll be for the next 2 months.
Nice.
In this house.
I like big jobs. Not this house isn't our house.
What?
When you said this house, you mean somebody's house, not our house, not the house we're sitting in.
Not our house, one of my customers. But no, it's a job that has been kind of in the wings and waiting to happen, and now it finally happened. And it's like everything else. It's like once it happens, it's like well, because you see what I go through when we're getting ready to start one of these big projects off, and it's like, it's a lot. So anyway, we got this thing on the way today, and today was demo day, and it was like just a shit storm of dust and mayhem, basically ripping out the entire guts of this house. So I always kind of like doing that though. Like demo days are fun.
How did the dirt get on you, like after you came home and you took your clothes off, I saw a line of dirt where your underwear were, like, you know, around your ass and thigh, you know, the bottom. How did it get in there?
There is dirt in every crevice of there's dirt in my
You had
pockets.
dirt on your ass.
Yeah, there's dirt in my pockets. There's dirt everywhere, like in my ears. It's just because when demo, it's like shit flies everywhere. It gets in your shirt. It goes down, like, you know, and
Yeah.
it's nasty, right? And it's really fine dust, a lot of it, because it's, you know, we're ripping everything out, stuff's traveling. We all wear masks and glasses and gloves and the whole deal.
Everybody?
But
I know
yeah.
some people are lazy when it comes to shit like that.
No, I make everybody definitely wear a mask, and everybody wears eye protection. You know, some people don't like to wear gloves, and I'm not a fan of gloves either. But when we do demo, we do, because it's always
splinters and shit,
a
right?
nail and a splinter or something's hanging out of a piece of wood. You don't see the tear. I mean, you
You're
know,
grabbing shit and
you know what
pulling
my
it out,
hands
right?
are like. My hands are like, you know, a piece of chopped meat. They're always torn up. So. Demo days are probably the only days that I'll wear gloves, but I do. So anyway, we tore into his house and got this thing started, and it's pretty much on the way. And it was, I gotta say, it was a fun day. I like breaking shit, man. As much as I like building stuff, demo days are always fun, because that's like the good job.
I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good to shut your phone off. Nice.
Yeah, that was the computer. Yeah.
It's always fun to break stuff, you know, and like, as much as I love building stuff, like that to me is like, okay, that's when the job starts. So this is the beginning of the change. You know, it's like the caterpillar starting to come out of the cocoon, you know, and turn it into a butterfly, right? So yeah, it's kind of like
so
that.
Profound.
Yeah, no, it really is, because like it starts out really ugly, right, and really nasty, and like this is like an old house built in, like, I don't know, the early '60s or something, and in about maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
Was there a working toilet, or do you have to shit in the plastic bag again?
No, there's a working toilet, and the good thing about this particular
Did you clog it?
No, not yet. I'm working on it. Most job sites will have a porta potty on, but this bathroom we're taking out anyway, so it's there like temporarily right now, and we're going to wind up, you know, in a short period of time it'll be gone.
So you're going to shit down the hole a few times before you get rid of it, right?
Yeah,
so like the last thing you pull out.
Yes, yeah. I figured let me leave, you know, my permanent mark in this place, you know,
permanent skid mark.
Yeah. So it was a good day. We got a lot done, and
you know what I like is when you have
tomorrow,
the places that you work at that have toilets, but there's no running water because you're there because the copper pipes were stolen, and you're doing all of that reno, and then you take the plastic bag and put it in the toilet and around the seat, so that it's like you're shitting in the toilet, but into the plastic bag.
I have a lot of tricks for that. So you know, over the years you've seen me do, because I've done a lot of these bank repos and foreclosures, and we bring them back to market. So the bank might have a house that was closed up for 3 or 4 years. It was repossessed and it was boarded up, and now we go in and basically do a complete 360 on this thing and turn it so they can sell it, right? So it went from like a total bomb to a really nicest looking house on the block. When we get there, nothing's working. And what happens is these houses get broken into also. A lot of them get broken into and vandalized, and people come in, probably some of the crack dealers that that you see.
Yeah.
They come in. Well, actually, not the dealers. The guys who are spending their money to get the crack from the dealers.
And doing the crack in the abandoned house.
They break in through a window in the basement or something. They come in there with like cordless sawzalls and things like that, and they chop out all of the copper pipes, all of the plumbing. Anything that they can scrap at a metal scrapyard, they take the appliance, they take the boiler, they take the heat, anything they can scrap metal, they can get rid of. And the copper is actually worth a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I've had some people on my caseload.
Even the wiring too. They take the wire also.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Rip out all the wires.
I've had people on my caseload. This woman actually, she helped her husband. They went like in an isolated area in the town. And
it was a husband and wife team.
Yes, she had she had possession of burglar tools, while her husband climbed the pole and took the wiring from like the electrical poles.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, like they went that far. Like they went up
From
on
the pole.
poles. Yeah.
Wow. See, that's brave.
Well, because we live out like kind of like, you know, by abandoned country area.
Well, yeah,
you know,
we
out,
live
out
like
east.
kind of like
so
out in the sticks and the roller.
Yeah, so there's nobody around to see you do that.
And a lot of these houses that I see, they're like that, you know, and like they've been sitting for a long time. They're all overgrown with big bush. You can't even see the house, some of them, you know. So it's like free, you know, anybody can go in there and they can operate. They go in with a flashlight in the middle of the night. They chop all this stuff out. And so when we get there, there's no electric, there's no water, there's no nothing. I mean, everything is gone. So, yeah, we have to improvise. And, you know, usually we'll have a porta potty on the job. But sometimes the first day or so before all that stuff arrives, There's nothing. So yeah, you've seen.
So
me
I send my man off with a plastic bag and a little packet of wipes.
Let me tell you something, man. Plastic bag and a package of wipes. You're good. You don't need water.
Exactly. No. Your ass is cleaner than it's ever been.
I think the best though is when I sent you a picture of a shit on the shingle. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that
was we ever talked about that?
Yeah, we did. I think we did.
Yeah, every once in a while I pass through that picture.
With Joe. Great. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I showed it to Joe. I showed
awesome.
Joe a picture of my shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was actually on a shingle. So yeah. Good day.
I was also thinking that we should probably talk about our long weekend because we had a really exciting weekend going to California.
We did. We went back to Cali.
Cali.
And, we had a good weekend.
I was trying to get the.
Try it again, Ken.
We went back to Cali.
I don't think so.
Dumbass.
I don't think so.
So we had this flight. And it was just blowing my mind. The flight attendant on one of the flights that we took this weekend. It was exactly what you would picture when if you're listening to somebody who recorded something.
Oh, he's like
but
the voiceover guy, right?
Yeah.
Right. I remember.
So, right. So it was like. Everything that he said was very animated.
Well, picture this: like if you
like a Broadway
you heard the guy from like Movie Phone. Hello, and thank you for
Movie Phone.
Thank you for calling Movie Phone.
Yeah.
Tonight's feature presentations is.
Yeah.
Well, and he was like,
so please place your luggage above your head with the wheels in or wheels out.
Be courteous to other passengers.
And make sure that you take out all of the garbage from the pocket in front of you.
I wanted to punch this guy in the face so bad.
It blew my mind.
I wanted
That's
to find
how he
it.
spoke.
See, at first I thought it was a recording because no one could possibly. This is like when you call something and you get the automated message. There's people that's all they do, voiceover work, and they get paid to make those recordings because they articulate their words very well. You know, they basically say it really clean and clear so anyone can understand it, right?
He was
no one speaks like that.
He was
naturally.
like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
It was like, and he looked like. Did you see it? Like the helmet hair?
No. Oh my god! Yeah,
right?
No, I never saw him, but I could totally see him having like the hairspray helmet head.
Yes, that's what he looked like.
Perfectly like manicured.
Yeah.
You know, probably goes home to like he's got mom making him a bowl of soup.
Right.
You know, at the Bates Motel.
Right. In a few minutes, we will be coming down the aisle to take your drink requests. And if you would like to purchase a set of headphones, please let us know because they're available for $5.
Oh my god!
I couldn't fucking believe it.
Oh my god! I was like, where
and
is
I've been
I was
on
like,
a lot of
where is
flights.
this guy? I need to kick him in the nuts. I need if I kick him in the nuts hard enough, maybe his voice will change somehow.
Oh, I couldn't stand
I'm going to ruin his whole microphone flight attendant career.
I can't stand it.
They're going to give the job to somebody else.
I just want to let everybody know this too, because I think people are missing something. Like, I guess they're not listening to the flight attendants. You know, they're like zoned out. But listen, people.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Wow.
again, I know. I'm fucking really irresponsible.
Really? Like, can you shut that
I know,
off?
I just did.
What?
When you
just did it now.
Yeah.
So the first time wasn't enough for you to shut it off?
I know. Sorry.
Wow.
So when you get on a plane, okay, the overhead is for your rolling luggage. And your bags and jackets and soft-sided bags carrying things go under the seat in front of you, people. Your pocketbook doesn't go in the overhead. Your jacket doesn't go in the overhead. Oh, my God.
Now you just reminded me of what happened. So...
people.
Yeah. I got to tell everybody when we fly a lot, obviously, like ridiculous. Like we're probably in a plane more than we're on the ground. But... every time I get on a plane with you, you stress me out a little bit because you're like a bull in a fucking china shop. And when we get on the plane, you're like out of my way. I'm getting to my seat. Doesn't matter who's in the aisle. You will like push past them. They'll like go flying into the fucking like. To me, it's kind of like it's like it's a little bit like.
I have a routine.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's like a little too much though.
I'm usually the first one on the plane. It's
borderline rude, bitch. That chick. Like if someone did that to me, I'd be like, what's up with you?
I'm not rude. I'm always the first one on.
All right. Maybe not rude is not the right word, but it's like you have an agenda of your own, and if anyone gets in your way, it's like, all right, stay out of my fucking way.
Right.
So,
like, don't put your fucking luggage in front of row 6, and you are sitting in row 9. No, your fucking luggage goes above your row.
Exactly. So that happens all the time. And in this particular case, we were getting on the plane probably later than we usually get there early. We're like the first ones on the plane.
I know.
Right?
I couldn't believe it. Both fucking flights.
So we were running late. We hit mad traffic on the 405 trying to get to the plane and everything.
And we still
in the
got
morning
to the
rush
gate
hour.
early
So anyway,
enough.
we get on the plane and so we just get on the plane and people are sitting in their seats, and so the only available thing is like.
Overhead space.
Overhead is maybe 1 or 2 rows behind us, which is a pain in the dick because when you get up and when you're getting off the plane, people are all in the aisle.
Yeah.
You can't get your
You've
bag.
got to walk now backwards
You can't.
to get your
You
shit,
can't,
and that
because
pisses me the
everybody
fuck
wants
off.
off that plane.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the next thing I'm going to say because you getting off the plane, oh my God. Every time, as soon as, all right, here's what happened. The plane lands, right? You hear the brakes on the ground, right? Already, Bedell over here is like starting to unbuckle her seatbelt. She's starting to get all her shit. She has one ass cheek off the seat. There is usually only
I want to be ready.
There's only half an ass on the seat as soon as the wheels touch the runway. By the time we taxi over and get to the jetway thing, the little elastic dildo that comes out and hooks up to the side of the plane, right? As soon as that thing hooks up and it suctions to the door and you hear ding, as soon as that ding happens, you are absolutely the first person out of your seat.
Yes.
And it's like, doesn't matter who at that point, it's like you have like a horse with blinders on.
Yes.
All you can see is the exit door. And it's like ripping the bags out of the overhead.
Yes.
Out of the way, motherfucker.
Yes.
Nope, that's my bag. Nope.
All right. First of all, let me explain the psychology to you.
I hear this. I get it. All I'm saying is from my side. Really?
Let me say it.
Really, keep smashing the table.
Let me say it. Let me say it.
What is that?
I'm trying to explain something to you, and you're still
don't
flapping
need
your jibs.
You don't need to smash the table.
You don't need to keep flapping your jibs when I'm trying to interject.
How many times we got to keep talking about it? Stop hitting the fucking table and shut your phone off.
Well, I got your attention.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Shut up.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to explain to you why half an ass cheek is out as soon as we hit the ground. Because, first of all, we are always at the window or middle seat. And when I'm not with you, I have the window. I need to like in a way of, without saying it, but showing the people that are next to me in the middle and aisle seat that my plan is to get up as soon as possible. And it is not up to you whether or not I'm going to get out into the aisle, because some people choose to continue to sit there and not get out of your way. I'm letting them know I'm coming.
Yeah, you're always in the middle. I'm on the window. You're in the middle. There's someone that's in the aisle that they need to get up first to let you out.
And if they don't get up, I'm getting out anyway.
A lot of times they don't get up first.
Right, so I'm letting them know.
Because you've already got the ass cheek off the seat.
Right.
And as soon
they know I'm in a rush.
As soon as the ding happens, unless they have razor fast reflexes like you do, they are still probably in their seat for maybe 1/10 of a second.
And I'm stepping on their lap.
One tenth of a second longer than you.
I'm holding onto their head and stepping on their lap.
That 1/10 of a second is like a fucking eternity for you. You're like, oh no, I'm going.
Yeah.
And you will literally crawl over their lap. So it's like, I'm like,
because you know what? I don't like the people trapping me in there and them thinking that it is up to them whether or not I get out of my seat.
Even though you heard the ding and your ass cheeks off the seat, from the time we get there and the ding goes off and everyone stands up, you're still a good 6-7 minutes until you get into the door. Where are you going to go?
I want my aisle space because there's only so much room. There's not enough room in the aisle for everybody.
Right.
I'm going to be one of those people in the aisle.
Which is why some people decide that are going to sit for a second until some people get out of their way.
Some people just have to keep sitting because they're not fast enough and they don't get their space.
I don't, for one, particularly care to be like fucking rubbing elbows and ass cheeks up against like all sorts of nasty, gnarly people. So I would, you know what? Get your shit, get out of my fucking way, and when you're out of my way, I'll get my thing and I'll get off the plane.
I want to get the fuck off the plane as fast as possible.
I realize that.
So I don't want to wait.
But just because you're in the aisle and have your bag now doesn't mean we're getting off the plane any sooner, right? You realize that.
Yes, but it also makes it different, though, that I get my spot in the aisle so I can get my shit out and onto the aisle.
I know in your mind it makes a difference, but trust me, we're not going to get off the plane a half a second faster.
I know that, but I'm standing and ready to start rolling.
Okay.
And what you were about to say, I know you're about to go into the whole thing with this fucking lady in the row behind us who put like her giant pocketbook in the overhead next to a suitcase.
I was all with you on that, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's limited space. We're getting on the plane toward the latter part of everyone getting on the plane, right? And you really shouldn't have a soft bag or whatever, a pocketbook or duffel bag, whatever that can fit under your seat. And they even tell you that. Only hard cases go in the overhead.
Keep announcing it over and over.
The rest of your stuff, be courteous to our other customers and put your other things underneath the seat in front of you.
So that there's more room for people to put their suitcases.
So we get there and we got our little roll-on hard case, travel bags or whatever, right?
Suitcase.
Travel size that are designed to fit in the overhead.
Right.
And here's this lady's fucking Louis Vuitton fucking knapsack or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Right.
and so she would...
so now you proceed to put our bag 2 rows in back.
All right, but here's what you do. You come over and you grab her shit and you rip it out of the fucking thing, and her eyes got like, whoa. And she goes, hey, that's mine. And she got all fucking flipped out. Like, what are you doing? Don't touch my shit. And you were like, you just fucking pulled it. Boom, ripped it out.
And I said to her...
Yeah.
This bag is supposed to go under the seat in front of you. This overhead is for suitcases.
And then you look at me, and you do the same thing like when we pull up to a fucking light and there's road rage going on, because you're not the one getting out and fucking throwing down with the dude next to us. It's going to be me. You're like, fuck you, asshole. And then he looks at me like, really, dude? Okay, all right. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
You know? So same thing. So you rip the fucking lady's fucking Gucci, whatever the fuck it was, out of the thing, and she flips out. That's my bag. What are you doing? Don't touch my shit. And you're like, well, it shouldn't be up here. And then you go, now put our bag in there. And you look at me, and I got the fucking thing. And I mean, the whole plane is looking at us, right? You could drop a dime in this way. I mean, you can hear a pin drop.
We should also mention, though.
Like, and now put the bag in there. And the lady looks at me like, wow, man.
We were just in an hour of traffic sitting still.
Do you think that when you manhandled her fucking $900 fucking whatever it was, right, that she gave a shit about that we were in a traffic jam?
No, but I'm saying that's where my head was. I was already at the edge of my fuck. Like, I was already there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know you very
stressing.
well. I know exactly what goes through your mind. Yeah. And, like, I know that when you're on a mission, that's the way it is. Yeah. No one else knows that. No one else cares about the mission that you're on. Nobody else understands that you don't, they don't care that you want to get off the plane, right? They don't care. All they know is that you are now ripping their stuff out of the overhead. You're climbing over their lap. You are rolling your fucking luggage over their feet, right? Whatever it might be. And then everybody looks at me like, wow, dude, she's fucking nuts. And I'm like, what am I going to say? Yeah, she is nuts. No, it's my wife, so get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
So I have to, like, I am forced to think like you. And I'm like, yeah, get out of the way, motherfucker. You heard her. You know, and I'm like, now you know me. If it were just me, I'd be like, oh, fuck it, let him go. Yeah. I don't care, because for me, an extra 10 seconds doesn't make a difference. But to you, we're wired differently. You're like, oh, no. I'm standing here 3 seconds longer because of this person. I'm going to climb over them. So, yeah, we're very different.
I have, like, this phobia of the people sitting in the aisle seat, of them, like, trying to impose their will on me and decide where and when I'm going to go. I don't like it. I want out, and that's my decision, and I'm not going to let them make it for me.
I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying
especially after sitting 6.5 hours or more.
There is a certain degree of, can
I tell you,
what do you want to call it? Airplane etiquette, possibly?
When we, I don't know, I don't even think you heard me, but when we landed and we were about to exit the plane, and I was reaching over our head 2 fucking rows in back of us to reach for our suitcase, I said to that lady, I said, I'm sorry I was such a bitch.
Yeah,
before.
I did hear you say that.
I said, I said I had a really bad weekend. My dog is really sick, and I just had a really bad day. And I said, and you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry.
What was her response? I heard you say it, but I wasn't looking at her.
She said, "Oh, I hope your dog is
did she?
Okay, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. I was a bitch, and I know it. And I said I was sorry.
You were a little bitchy,
and I meant it.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, there are degrees of your bitchiness. You were probably up toward the upper levels there for that.
Yeah, I was up in the red zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because even on a good day, you're a bitch. But like you were.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you were.
I'm generous. I'm so generous to people. Don't say that.
All right.
I'm assertive.
So maybe,
but I'm not a bitch.
Bitch is not a accurate description.
I'm a bitch if you fuck with
me. All right,
me.
let's say this. The people that you are now coming in contact with are thinking that you're a bitch. I know you better.
If they're doing something wrong, sure.
Well, wrong in your mind.
Which I will determine.
In her, yeah, exactly. Wrong according to you. In her mind, she's plopped her ass down and put her fucking $1,000 pocketbook in the thing when it shouldn't have been. And in her mind, it was okay.
Had we not been sitting in that hour of standstill traffic on the way to the airport,
right.
the way I would have have handled that would have been me asking her, "Do you mind if I move this over so I can get my suitcase over here so I don't have to walk backwards when the plane lands?
Right.
Would you?" I would have asked her nicely.
Well, that would be the nice thing to do, even
But
though the end result would have been the same.
You know what? Let me
because if she would have said no, don't move it, you would have pulled it out anyway.
Okay, let me just make this announcement. Okay, so for our new listeners who heard us on the Adam Carolla Show, and for the old listeners who know already my personality, I am not fucking perfect, and I know it, and I don't think I'm always right, and I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm always willing to say I'm sorry, because oftentimes I am.
Right.
I'm not perfect. I try to be a good person. I try to do good things for people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I fuck up. And,
you can be a little bit bossy and a little get the fuck out of my way, bitch face.
I know that, and when I think that
not everybody quite understands where it's coming from.
I do have resting bitch face.
You do,
yeah.
You pretty much have full-time bitch face, which I happen to think that even your bitch face is sexy because whatever you're doing is working for me because
You're coming every day, so it's all good.
Yeah. But I'm coming on your bitch face.
Yeah. No, I caught some slack online. I was finding because of the story we were telling on Adam's show about how we met.
Yeah.
And the part
you caught slack, really?
Yeah.
Because
like I was saying earlier, when we go on the show, you think about what you're going to talk about, and you want to say everything you want to say, but you're limited for time, and then you got other people interjecting, like Bald Brian and you at some point were like speaking while I was still telling a story, and it's like we have to pause, and it takes seconds away. So with that being said, the part of the story about how we met, and that at the time I was married, so we kind of glossed over that part.
No, we didn't.
I'm saying glossed over the part about where the fact that I started visiting you while I was still married.
But we've already discussed the fact that your marriage was on the way out. It was on the well for a long time on the way out. Right.
It was, and it was going to end regardless. Okay. But it's not an excuse. You know what I mean? I don't think it's right to betray your partner. Just if he finds. I think I should have left first and then been with you.
Right.
That would have been the right thing to do.
Agreed.
And I didn't do that.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, I'm not making excuses, I'm not trying to justify it. I was just explaining my truth, what happened, instead of hold it that way, and nobody would be the wiser.
I think anybody that's ever listened to our show before or knows anything about us knows that we tell it like you make the choices that you make, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not, but you live with the choices that you make.
Right. So there were some people online who were just holier than fucking thou, who have never made mistakes, and they were really quick to call me out on it, and how, all the things I should have done, and how bad I am, and I'm like making excuses, or I'm, a classic cheater behavior or classic cheater excuse. Like, fuck you, okay? I never said that was okay. I'm just telling what happened, and, I did what I did.
So
I had my reasons for it.
It's the first time that anything like that ever happened, and it's not. You don't have a history or pattern of behavior like that. So, listen, things happen in people's lives. If you are fortunate to be the person that never had anything happen to you that put you in a compromising situation, then, hey, God bless you and good luck.
I had no idea there were so many perfect people on Reddit.
Let's hope you're never put in any situation where you have to make an impulsive decision because, God forbid, you might make the wrong choice. And we all make wrong choices sometimes, but
I think
you live and you die by the sword, right?
Yeah,
and you accept the consequences that come along with your choices.
I think instead of getting religious, I should actually try to get closer to more of the perfect people by interacting with Reddit more often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where they all are.
Yeah, what a surprise. So these comments all came from Reddit exclusively, right? Well, by the way, those are the same people that think that you look like a dude and that you're a tranny.
Actually, now also I have the most annoying voice that they've ever heard.
Oh. Right.
Yeah, I'm just a repulsive person.
Wow. Okay.
To sum it up.
You know what? I think all of their comments are actually really comical.
I do too. It's when they start talking about our relationship, that sets me off. I can take personal insults. I understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
People like that are haters, the things that they talk about that they hate on the most are the things that they are jealous of and wish they had. So that's usually their target topic, right? It's like if somebody's doing good and has a good job, has a good life, has a family,
don't, and they're fucking pissed at you for having it.
you're a fucking asshole. You shouldn't be doing that job. You don't deserve that. You're this, you're that. Like all the things that they hate about themselves because they're sitting in their mom's basement at 45 years old.
So for all the people that got cheated on, I'm the fucking bitch that did it to them.
Yeah, well, of course, you know. So listen, I think that we both have a record of doing good things for other people. We spend a good chunk of our life going out and helping people with their show, and we have a long track record of. And you know what? I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I know what I am. I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror, I'm good. So I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. And I think everyone should live their lives like that. And if you can't look at yourself and don't feel good about it, then you got a problem. But don't listen to anybody else judge you, because no one's walked a minute in your shoes.
I know.
They don't. You know what? So if you don't like what you're seeing or hearing or whatever, then change the fucking channel, dude.
Yeah.
It's real easy. You don't need to listen to our show. You don't need to watch our show. Whatever. Find somebody else to hate on, and I'll just, I'll keep laughing all the way to wherever it is that we're going that day. Because our shit's good.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we had a nice visit with Adam and the show, and it was it got a lot of really good feedback too.
Yeah.
We got some really nice feedback on like Facebook, and people saying that they, after hearing us on his show, that they were going to listen to our show, and that's really nice.
We really appreciate that, and of course, the Ace Man has been really gracious and has helped us out. Going on the Carolla Digital Network is great, because everybody loves Adam Carolla Show, and he's really gotten behind us and been a big push. And we really appreciate all the support from his fans, of course.
People have been. I've seen a couple of comments like strike while the iron's hot, and like we got the only reason we're on Carolla Digital is because we were working with Adam. Well, first of all, yeah. Second of all, it was his idea.
It was his idea. And
he brought it up.
Oh, and by
the way, it
was
his idea that we're doing this.
Yeah, by the way, speaking to Adam over numerous times, and everyone that works on his team, all of the lackeys, everybody will tell you that he has probably pitched at least 100 podcasts a week come to him regularly and would die to be on his network.
Yeah.
So the fact that he came to us and said, this is a great idea, you guys should, because we had talked about it.
Yeah.
But, it's not like we went to him and said, can we please do this?
Right.
It was a mutual thing.
Because he knows us personally. He knows our personalities, and he thought that we would be good.
He knows what we're about. And,
he had faith in us, and I really appreciate that.
We appreciate the confidence that he put into it,
Yeah.
So hopefully all of his listeners that are now listening to us, you guys are digging it, and you're liking what you hear. And, of course, we love all the feedback and all the questions, which, by the way, we have any listener questions?
I do. Not only do I have questions, baby, but I also asked a question. But you know what? I just wanted to hit on a couple of things about this past weekend.
Yeah.
We stayed at our friend Rick and Pam's house.
Awesome.
They were fucking awesome.
Love them.
Yeah, we love them. They are really, really nice. And Skip had a really great time jamming with Rick and his guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Skip's trying to learn.
It's probably
how
been
to
like a
improve
year
his skills.
or better, more than that, a couple of years since we've been flying around the country doing everything with Catch Contractor that I've picked up my guitar. And so going over to his place, it's like the guitar.
You guys were up until 2 in the morning.
Guitar museum.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a serious guitar player, as is Joe Cumia, our engineer, and the guy who we do our show with in the studio. So it's the same type of thing, right? So you go down his studio, and it's like all you see is a wall full of guitars. Rick's got some awesome axes. So when we sat down, he just started playing some.
And he's been in the music business for decades. So the memorabilia he has on his walls, he's got gold records, and he's got signed pictures and paintings and all kinds of
He's a memorabilia.
Oh my god! And Pam takes pictures. You see those Ozzy huge, Ozzy. She photographed, she took pictures of so many people.
She's like a huge PR rep, and he's been in the music business for on the recording side and on the the development side and the marketing side for decades. So he has met everyone in the business, from going back from the Beatles to Clapton to anybody you could think of, and he's got
and they're so not bragging
gold and platinum records from one end of the house to the other with his name on them. From every record label that you could possibly imagine. He was part of making these. Huge.
They're such nice people. They're not affected people.
No, they're so down to earth. It was really a joy staying with them.
They're so nice, and they cooked for us. They had food for us, and we baked cookies. But and so Pam had said before we came, she was like, "You don't have to pack anything. We have everything. Just bring Kilo." And then I told you how, I asked her about what fucking hair dryer she has, like an asshole that I am, because I needed a special hand dryer. But anyway, so, because I told you my hair's thick. So anyway, there was a separate bathroom that we used. It was like the, full bathroom, separate from theirs in their master bedroom. And I noticed that there was one thing that I was really like, fuck, I didn't plan ahead. I didn't take our own roll of toilet paper. I was picking lint. I was like, fuck.
Well, you know what? They have like the really expensive, really thick stuff.
Yes, that's exactly. It was the nice quilted, really, really thick toilet paper. Yeah. But if you look down at your choach after you wipe, then you're there another 10 minutes picking the lint. Because I'm like, you and I, there are no quickies existing. No, if I got the pussy lint.
We basically have the paper towels that you get out of the dispenser in the airport. It's like crispy paper.
Yes.
No.
But we use Scott toilet paper, the kind that it's thin and it's on a roll and there's no dust or anything like that. It doesn't break when you wipe. So meanwhile, all I kept thinking was, fuck, like how are we supposed to have any quickies ever if every time all throughout the day we're here and I'm picking lint off my pussy. So I was
that could eat into the
because I had to wipe. I had no alternative. What else would I use? What else? Because you can't use tissues from a tissue box. It does the same thing.
Well, you know what?
So I had paper pussy, and I just hope you didn't notice.
I didn't. No.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, and then we talked to them at some point. I think on the second night we were there, we were talking to them about our podcast because we were going to be going on Adam's show, right?
Right.
So I think I scared them.
Well,
see, because when we're hanging out with them, we don't curse because they don't curse, So we're talking about nice things, and they're talking about nice things, and we're like all nice, and everybody's nice.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about our podcast, and I think I scared her.
Well, they're like, so they had never heard it before. So then Rick's like, oh, do you have a Twitter site? Do you have a Facebook site? And he goes on and you see some of the pictures that you you put together with what do you Photoshop and all these crazy stuff, right? And then he starts looking at it and he's getting quiet, and then he's like, oh, so what's the podcast about? And
and then I'm like, well, let me just play the intro. She's like, oh, do you have intro music? I'm like, yeah, listen. So then it plays the intro music, and then it starts talking. We're talking, and it just happened to be the episode where I was wearing pigtails that day, and you were like, oh, you look sexy. I'm like, oh, I feel sexy. I think it's my pigtails. And you were like, yeah, they're like handlebars.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like,
nah. That's all right. You know what? It's like I think people appreciate the fact that we're kind of just like out there and we talk about whatever it is. We probably talk about the stuff that everybody talks about behind closed doors.
I don't know about that because they came with us to Adam's studio. And they sat on the couch and watched us while we were on the podcast, and me talking about my experience with like coming out. Right. And then when I said, if you want the pussy, you got to go out and get the pussy because the pussy ain't coming to you.
Right.
You got to go out and get it.
Absolutely.
And they heard that.
Yeah.
And
of course they do.
And I was just like, after we stepped out of that studio, I was like mortified, thinking to myself, I think they're not going to be our friends anymore.
Why would you think that?
Because they thought that we were one type of people when they met us and when we went there, and then the other side came out.
No, it wasn't like, oh, you're chopping up bodies in the basement.
I don't know, but they're like, I don't know.
No, you know what? They're the coolest people ever.
I know,
Absolutely
but I felt
not.
uncomfortable because they didn't receive it well.
No, they totally did. I think it was just, like they just haven't heard that side of us. That's all. They're used to seeing us on our TV.
I said fuck like 1,000 times and they seemed shocked.
Yeah, but
it's just fuck.
That's what you do like regularly. So
I know, but I like the reaction.
It's all good.
You even said it like when they were like, oh.
Well, you did say fuck a lot. They're like, oh. Okay.
Only when we talked about the podcast. Because I was trying to keep I kind of like, you know what? I don't always say it. It's kind of like depends on what we're talking about or how heated we are, if there's other people around. I don't always swear.
I mean, if there are 10 words in a sentence, you'll probably manage to make 3 or 4 of them. Fuck. So I'd say, probably.
Yeah, but not. Don't know. Yes, but not always.
What's your favorite saying?
Fuck you, you fucking fuck.
That's every word. That's every word in the sentence except for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
We got any listener questions?
So I got questions from people, and I also asked a question.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedell.
You want to avoid a headache and save money? He's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
Skip,
Ted Schneider, how do you check for mold safely? If found, how do you obtain a sample and who do you call to test it?
All right, so you can go online. There are labs, local labs that will, you can send your mold test kit to. And by the way, you can pick up a mold test kit in any hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's. They're probably about $10. You can
Is
get
it
them.
test kit as in like you test it yourself and
Yeah,
you look
it's
at the results
actually
yourself?
like a little like a petri dish, and they give you like a swab that you wipe whatever. If you see something that looks like mold, you wipe it and you put it in there, and then it'll turn colors. It can.
You have to mail it away?
No, there are some that you do, and then some that will tell you like right there on the spot. So there's that, and then of course, if you do detect mold, then you need to get it remediated. You need to get rid of it. So there are plenty of services in the area.
You should hire a professional to do that. Right?
It really could, because mold is like the kind of thing that can grow behind the walls, under the floor, and even like if you're seeing it on the surface on the outside, that means it's way more on the backside of the wall that you can't see. So,
right.
There are companies that specialize in doing just that. Usually your homeowner's insurance will hook you up, and that's something that the homeowner's insurance actually will cover in many cases. You'll have to check out with your policy with your agent. Yeah, some of those, because the mold,
even like stinky because basements?
The mold in most cases is coming from a source of moisture, so it could be a leaky pipe or something like that.
What about like those concrete basements or a crawl space under the house?
I'm not saying that the insurance is going to pay for it in every instance, but in some cases they will. So if there's a broken pipe somewhere or a leaking pipe, the insurance in many cases will pay to have that pipe fixed, and if there's any damage because of that, they may cover a portion of that as well. So there are companies like Serve Pro and a bunch of Service Master and all these different companies that's what
They're
they do.
Expensive.
It's not cheap, but that's why you want to try to get the insurance to pay for it. So I have friends of mine that work for some of those companies, and all they do is just that's it. They're certified. They have to go through tons of training and certification classes and all this stuff.
There's also things that you can do preventatively to prevent getting mold in a place that's like a moist area, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying because I remember with you, working in those houses with the way you were fixing up those foreclosure houses.
Yeah, we deal with that all the time, especially the foreclosure houses, because they've been sitting for a long time. So if the water was left on for any period of time, and the pipes freeze, which happens a lot because either the gas is shut off because no one's paying the bill, or the oil tank ran out of oil, and the pipes freeze, right? And they burst the pipe. And we've actually come into some of these houses that the entire basement is filled to the top with water. So much so that the oil tank is floating to the top like a big bobber. Yeah, it's like
a pool.
Yeah, so when you come into a situation like that, obviously there's been mold maybe for months or God knows how long. There's going to be mold damage everywhere, and it's a big deal. But just for the basic household mold that people will experience from a water leak or whatever, there are ways that you can repair that yourself, and you can spray it with bleach. There's all different sorts of solutions you can get in the hardware store that are made to kill mold on contact. You put it in a spray bottle. You can buy it right over the counter. So for small minor problems like that, maybe like a leaky shower behind a tile or something, and you see that the tile's popping off and you find mold, you can address some of those. But if it's on the other back side of the wall and you got to start ripping out drywall and everything else, you should call a professional, because it's probably throughout the whole area.
Right. That's a big job, and it's an important job because you can get sick from it. What was the stuff that you were spraying?
How do we go from, by the way, if you want to get the pussy, you got to go out and get the pussy.
Because the pussy ain't coming to you got to go and get it.
Yeah. How do we go from that to mold?
Because it skips tips. He doesn't give you the shaft, just the tip.
Yeah, he doesn't give you the whole thing, just the tip.
Yeah. What was the stuff that you sprayed in our basement? I forgot what you used. My coworker's fogger. Yeah. And
there's antimicrobials that you can put into. They have machines that you can actually rent from, a hardware store or a tool rental place, or Home Depot has a rental portion. It's like a fog machine almost, and you put this solution into it. You dilute it with the water. It's like a condensed version of it, concentrated. You dilute it, you put it in the machine, and it makes like a fog, like a smoke, really, that travels throughout the whole basement, and it gets inside of everything. It gets up in the cracks and the crevices. So if you have mold in your basement in places that you can't get between the beams and the planks and the boards, you might be able to see it on the surface and kill what's on the surface, but it's still going to come back because there's a place you can't get to it. Those machines work great. Right. It's like a vaporizer almost.
Yeah, and also if you have something that's already in good condition and it's dry, it is also good to use that because it actually prevents mold from growing in the future. Like say like when our hose, the spigot it broke when we were away and our basement ended up filled with water.
Always happen like that when you're away?
Only when we're away.
Always, right?
We'll be home like 51 weeks a year.
Hot water heater blows up.
When we're gone.
Another time, like the
hose was running for days.
The hose burst on the outside of the house because somebody left it on, and it flooded the whole yard and got into the basement.
Yep.
Like shit like that happens when you're away all the time, right? You know, the answer is just don't go away. You should just stay in your house 24 hours a day. Become a fucking hermit. Log on to Reddit. And you'll be good. You'll be good. Right?
You'll be one of the gang.
Yeah, you just hang out in the basement, right, with your mom making you chicken noodle soup or whatever when you're 45 years old.
Yeah.
And you just go online. This way, if a pipe bursts or anything, you'll never get mold because you'll be right there to stop it, like Johnny on the spot, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Yeah, there's the answer.
There's the answer.
The solution.
All right.
Quit your job. Go in the basement and go on Reddit.
And absolutely, whatever you do not take a picture of yourself and put your real name on Reddit because for some reason nobody does that. Like they all hide.
Right.
Nobody is either like nobody's good looking enough to put a picture, or nobody's brave enough to put their name, but they're all brave enough to say anything and judge.
Little fucking fucks that have nothing better to do with their time than go online and talk bad about other people that are actually out there doing good for the world. Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, whatever. Move on.
Okay.
We've given him way too much time.
Yeah. Bonnie Luna Chica.
Oh, love
I
her.
like her. She interacts a lot with us.
Making nice comments, yep.
Yeah. She says, my question is, how do you detect gas leaks? And by the way, this is not a bedroom question, LOL. I'll explain later why that was relevant.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, gas leak as in a different type of
Oh,
gas.
and then your cousin's wife underneath that wrote, LOL, Alison. That sounds like a question for cousin Matt. How do you detect gas leaks?
Yeah. Gas has a very distinctive
nose.
smell, so the best way to detect it, and you know, sometimes people will say, well, they didn't smell, but usually, especially natural gas is coming from the street, it has a smell to it. You will definitely smell it if it's present in your house, and you need to call the gas company immediately because that's obviously a dangerous situation. Yeah. There's a gas meter on the outside of your building, whether it's commercial or residential building. You'll see where the meter is, like we have a meter for the electric. Mm-hmm. It'll be for the gas meter, and there is a shutoff knob right on that. Everybody, yeah. Wherever there's a gas meter, there's a main shutoff on the outside of the house. And you can shut the gas off to the house. So if you smell something that's coming, especially if it's near like your stove or your heating equipment, whatever, you need to shut that off immediately and call the gas company. As far as how to detect it, there are probably meters that you can purchase that will, sense the gas detected in the air. Also, if you suspect there's gas leaking from a pipe, what plumbers will do many times is they'll take some soapy water, like some dish detergent, and put it around the pipe where the fittings are. Because usually the place where it's going to leak is like the threaded where connections are at elbows and things like that. Yeah. And over time...
And it bubbles when they put that there?
Yes. And over time, what happens is... when we're fitting the pipes, we use an oily material that basically it's a thread sealer that we put onto the thread. And over time that stuff can degrade and break down. So if there's going to be a leak in a gas pipe, it's going to be somewhere there. But if you're thinking that there may be a gas leak, you can put soapy water around that and you will see bubbles.
Question for Skip. We have a vinyl covered deck that will need recovering in the spring. Short of rebuilding the deck, is vinyl our only option for recovering?
There are different types of materials in different regions of the country. Depending upon where they live, they might be talking about a composite deck, like Trex and Evergreen, some of those other products like we're familiar with here, kind of like what we have on our front porch. It's a composite made of plastic resins and wood fibers, which they can colorize and texturize, which makes it look like wood. It's very popular now for deck surfaces, and because it
looks clean with
termites, there's no splinters, no warping, no cracking, none of that stuff. So you can walk on pressure-treated lumber and you get like a massive infection in your foot.
It hurts.
So if perhaps you're talking about something in your area that I may not be familiar with. It's a vinyl coat here. As far as decking material itself, but I would, if you are considering resurfacing your deck, I would look into composite decking. It's going to be a little more expensive than pressure-treated lumber, but definitely a way better option.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I think that, I resurface a lot of decks, so especially people that have wood surface decks. So we resurface decks many times. We recover the framing stays the same underneath, but we put a new surface on it. I'm thinking that's what she's talking about, unless there's something that I'm not familiar with. If you don't have composite decking, then write back to me and send a picture along with it, and I will address it.
You know what I was just thinking was that if I had pussy lint, you had ass lint.
What?
Right? That you had lit too then. Paper asshole. So anyway, Jeremy Michaels, does wet wood make the nailing or screwing process easier?
Is this a response to your sex question? Which maybe at this point in
I just read it and I just got it.
You just got that right now?
It.
Yeah. This podcast right now, I have no idea what question you put out on our social media. What was your question?
It was, what is the one thing that you always want to do but are too afraid to do during sex?
Right.
So whatever you wanted to do, but you have...
This is something you did something different, and you asked them a question.
Yes.
And I got to say, I've been seeing some of the answers that you get in response to that question.
I saw some really funny things that people were writing. Stephanie Eggert, what's the best low-cost way to replace carpeting with wood floors?
With wood floors. I think the way she asked the question was, what is the best way to replace carpeting? And then she wrote wood floors, question mark. All right, so let me see if I'm answering the question.
So she has a carpeted room and she wants hardwood floors.
Yeah, she's talking about she has hardwood floors underneath carpeting, which happens a lot. And then they need to be sanded and resealed for usually about $1 to $2 a square foot. If we were talking about you replacing carpet and laying down new wood floor, they can be installed in one day, and you are walking on a pre-finished, beautiful floor that already has the stain and color and urethane shine to it and all of that. So that's a great option, as opposed to some of the floating floors and some of the other products that are out there, like Pergo and some of the other products, which are good in the right situation. They've come a long way with those products too, but they don't hold up as long as real hardwood floors do.
Okay. Thank you, Skip Bedell. Okay, so another question for you, and which I apologize, John Pergel. You had asked this question a number of weeks ago, and I don't even know what happened to the question.
I remember this question.
he had explained that his toilet bowl water is so high that when he goes to sit down on the toilet, his nuts are dunked. So
he does a nut dunk.
Yeah. He wants to know how to lower the water level in the bowl so he doesn't dunk his nuts.
All right, John, let me say this to you. Perhaps just ponder on this for a second. Maybe it's not the level of the water. Perhaps it's the level
the depth of his nuts.
The level of your ball bag. Okay? You might want to investigate into that, because maybe you just have some low-lying fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a shot in the dark, man.
He's got old man bag.
I don't know. I really don't know. So, if
you're wearing boxer briefs, your nuts are probably too long.
All right. So, assuming that it's not a really low-hanging nutsack, and you actually do have a water problem to where the water level in your toilet is too high. Okay, so a lot of people get confused when they say, how do I adjust the water level? And sometimes they're talking about the water level in the tank and the water level in the bowl, okay? Now, you'll have a fill valve. If you lift the cover off your toilet tank, there's going to be a fill valve in your toilet. And basically, that's a mechanism that allows the water to come into the toilet. That's usually controlled by some sort of float mechanism that slides up and down. On the new ones, they kind of slide up and down on that vertical shaft. And then the other ones will kind of have that old school ball that kind of lifts up and down with the water level that, it kind of floats
like a rubber ball.
Yeah, like a plastic ball, and some of them are made out of copper or whatever. And, people will bend that arm sometimes if you want to change the level, right? So the new ones now, so you don't have to be bending anything or changing the chain hook, whatever. They just have a screw on the top of them, most of them. You can turn clockwise or counterclockwise and adjust the level that the float will rise up and down in the tank, and that will regulate how much water comes into the tank. Now, the other thing that happens is that you have to make sure that the water is going down into the fill pipe in the center of the tank. There's a fill tube that comes up through the middle, and you'll see a little hose, sometimes a black hose or a clear plastic hose, that is supposed to be hanging down inside of that, and the water coming out of that hose, after you flush the toilet and now the tank is in the refill mode, that water should be going down into that tube. And that's going to be filling your bowl.
Right.
You can adjust that with that fill valve. Most new toilets now especially will have a fill valve that can regulate the amount of water that comes into the tank, and that'll also regulate how much water goes into your bowl. Now, if you have too much water in your bowl, usually that's a problem you can regulate when you don't have enough water, because you're not getting enough water into the tank. You might have and a lot of these new toilets now are set with the water conservation setups in it, like the goddamn shower heads that we had now, they're like drip. It's like somebody's spitting on you. You can't even get the soap off your body because everything is about saving water.
Conservation.
Well, yeah, which I get, okay.
Which is annoying.
Yeah, because most of the world is in a drought right now, especially
You've got like 2 tablespoons
especially if you live on the West
of water.
Coast, you can't even turn on the sprinkler.
Yeah, in our toilet, you can't even flush your shit down the bowl because there's 2 tablespoons of water in our bowl.
So if you have a toilet that has too much water in it, very possibly it could be another problem that's other than the mechanism in your toilet not functioning properly. And sometimes they just get clogged up with minerals in the water, that back up in the water, and they cause everything to just kind of freeze up, right? They have calcium and other things that are in the water, rust and whatnot. Okay, so assuming that your mechanism in the toilet is working properly, you may want to check and see if, one, your septic tank needs to be emptied if you have a septic tank, or if you don't and you're using city sewer, there could possibly be some blockage to where the water is not going down at the right rate when you flush it, leaving some of the water behind in that pipe. Now, when the water refills in your tank, sometimes it will back up into the toilet and it'll cause the water level in your toilet to be high.
Hence the nut dunk.
The nut dunk, yes. Now, the other thing that you can also look into, if you're brave enough to get up on your roof, you'll have vent pipes that come up out of the roof. Usually they're PVC pipes that come up, either 3 or 4 inch vent pipes, typically for the toilet and the main waste vent. If that has any obstructions in it, like it could be a bird's nest or some whatever, right, that gets inside there from animals or whatever it might be, if that has debris in there and the air is not allowed to escape the plumbing system properly, it will not breathe properly, that can also back up your plumbing system. So, like when you take a straw and you put your thumb over the straw and you put it in a glass and you hold it, right, the water stays in it. Same thing. So plumbing systems have to be able to exhaust the air that's in the pipe. So when the water goes down the pipe, it's going to create pressure, and that air has to go somewhere. If you close off the vent pipe, the plumbing will not drain properly. So what you can do is get up there, put a flashlight down there, see if you see any obstructions. If you do, you can take your garden hose up on the roof and spray it down there. Usually that'll clear it. Or if you can reach down and grab it. But an obstruction in your vent pipe will also cause your plumbing to not operate properly.
Your brain is such a turn on.
If you find that me talking about toilets and vent pipes and how your shit leaves the house to the sewer system attractive, then really I can probably get away with just about anything. So let's press pause and fuck. Let's fuck. Are you all turned on now? Because I'm talking about poop?
No.
You love to talk about poop.
I do.
Yeah.
I love to talk about poop.
Let's fuck.
I want to get to these people's responses to my question.
So your question again was?
Let me just read it exactly so that I can. Okay. I said, what is the one thing that you always want to do but are too afraid to do in bed?
Okay, now this was put on our Hammer and Nails Facebook page and also on Hammer and Nails Pod Twitter.
Yes,
right? Okay.
Yes. This is great. Louis Maya. He's the one who went to Monterey and helped Adam
love him.
with
he's awesome,
the race.
Man.
Yeah. He said, one thing that I didn't do in bed that I wish I had was getting my butthole licked.
Oh, God.
A girl I was dating wanted to do it and asked me if she could. My mouth answered faster than my brain could think, and when the words, ew, no, came out, my brain instantly thought, Louis, you fucking idiot.
Girl was about to stick her tongue in her asshole, and you said no.
That's awesome. I love that.
You blew it, Louis.
Yeah, you blew it. Now you might never know what it feels like to have your asshole licked. God damn
Unless
it.
you have a really long tongue, you'll never know.
Yeah. And really, if you let her do it, she might have had an experience like when Skip ate pussy for the first time, when the girl just farted right in his face.
Oh, God, yeah, we've already talked about that.
That was
awesome.
awesome.
Like 15 years old. And
if you're a new listener, you need to listen. You need to listen to the old episodes. There's some goodies back there.
That was my first experience. Yeah. That was great. It fucked me up for like years to come. Every time I attempted to do that, I'm like, oh, God, I hope she doesn't fart on me.
Don't fart.
Yeah. I mean, it was like full-blown, like,
yeah.
Like, really? Like, what the... Oh.
It's bad enough, like, being right next to her ass, but then, like...
Oh, and the very first time I ever did it, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was all like, just a young strapping lad that wanted to eat some pussy.
Yeah.
And what do I get? A face full of fart.
Yeah, but look what you've been rewarded with now for the rest of your life.
Yeah, man. I got the golden
You got
pussy.
premium pussy now.
I got golden pussy now. Yeah, man. That sounds like a Bond movie, Golden Pussy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking. Well, I guess because they didn't say don't include their name, so I guess I'll just read their name.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody said don't.
Some of these things are kind of like
the personal, but they put it out there on Facebook for the world to see. So
I guess, right? Yeah. Okay.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. If you put it on Facebook, everybody's seen it.
Yeah. Darla Reed Crap. Wow, love your question, Allison. She never had 2 guys. Always talks about it. Never happens.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I could
a lot
see
of people never had a 3-way.
That is something that would, that's fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I
that's
guess
probably like everybody's fantasy, though, right? I mean,
I guess.
sure.
Well, some people think about having 2 guys, and then some people would think about having 2 girls and a guy. I guess each thinks of it each way. Yeah.
There's a lot of good possibilities.
There needs to be. Well, I think I discussed it before as well. That I had a couple of potential scenarios, but it didn't go through.
Right. So close.
Yeah, I never did it.
Oh, so close.
So close.
Yeah.
Not recently, but. Anyway, that was in case my mom's fucking stalking our podcast. I never did that. Ever. Skip was my first.
Yeah, right. I'm going to be like Schultz on Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing.
Your whole face did it, too.
Yeah, most of you people have no
God.
idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but if you ever
I
remember,
don't, but the face you just made
there's
was...
a show called Hogan's Heroes that, like, I'm dating myself. It was some funny
it's
shit.
old.
Yeah.
John Pergel. That move when you grab their head and get them into a rhythm that works. I'm not trying.
I use your pigtails like that.
I'm not trying to ram my cock down their throat. I just kind of want to control the pace a little. Don't touch my head somehow became the battle cry of most chicks in my life.
Get your hand off my head.
That's awesome.
You told me you love that, right? Like
when you grab their head and get them. You know what? When it comes to like giving head, don't know. You know what? It's okay if you got your hand on the head once it's already begun.
Right.
But when you're like on a date with a guy and he wants you to do it and he puts his hand on your head and tries to direct you down there.
Right. Kind of like cups the
like,
back of your neck.
Those are
like
fucking
hooks
assholes
it,
of the
he
world.
hooks it like on the Gong Show, that long hook, right? Remember that? They pull you off the stage, that fucking big hook. It's like, the hand hook behind your head.
I don't like that
Put
at
your
all.
face in crotch.
Yeah. Do not. Don't fucking touch my head.
Yeah.
Because you want to get your dick sucked. Fuck you. I hate that.
I listen. I'm only going to put the tip in.
All girls hate that.
I promise it'll only be the tip. How many times have you heard that promise?
Benjamin Metcalf. Should I let her grind on my hip bone?
Yes.
Absolutely, by all means.
Yes, absolutely.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
You do that all the time. Yeah. Kidding.
Hey, now.
That's great, man. I think you should absolutely do that.
Well, why wouldn't you?
If someone wants to grind on any part of your body, Benjamin, let it happen, my friend.
Yeah. Chris Lara said, I love real talk.
I'm a fan of the face. I'm a fan of grinding on, You want to grind on something?
I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to oblige.
I tell you, I always have a front row seat for you
I'll
here.
always do anything to make my husband
front
happy.
row seat, baby. Just you. VIP only.
Table for one.
That's right.
I'll play anal. I've never done it, never asked. It intrigues me, but kind of disgusts me as well.
Is this a dude or a girl?
Now, this is the thing. This person's name is Chris.
Oh, that could go either way.
I kind of don't like the
And
thought.
maybe he does.
I kind of don't like the thought of dookie on my hammer.
Oh, okay, so we know
Dude,
it's a dude.
I may boot it. I may boot if I saw it. You can't, though. You have to expect. You have to expect that before you do that, that's going to happen.
It's like going to the Dunkin' Donuts and think you're not going to have a donut. What?
Yeah, it's true.
If you dunk your cruller in the coffee cup, you're going to get coffee on it.
That's just part of it. I mean, you unless you're like in porn, you really can't plan too far ahead for that because it kind of takes the spontaneity out of it. You know, like you have to first expect that you're going to have shit dick, and then if you don't, bonus.
Shitty dick.
And I think that even so, I think she, if you're doing it with a girl, will end up feeling worse about it than you even.
Shitty dick.
Would you rather be the recipient of the shit
Shitty
on...
dick.
Shut up, asshole. Would you rather be the recipient with the shit on your dick, or would you rather be the person giving who's got the shit coming out by accident? You know what I mean? Like, who would you prefer?
Are you asking me? No, I wouldn't. No, if I'm going to do it, you have to expect that's what's going to happen, right?
But would you feel worse having shit on your dick, or would you feel worse being the person who's got shit in your colon?
For the first time.
It's a valid question.
It is, but all I can say is, like, do you think there's any possibility that you're going to perform that act and that's not going to happen?
Yeah, I think that whoever has a dick should expect to have shit on it. And I think if you're a girl and you're going to let somebody get in your ass, you have to expect that there's a possibility that there's remnants and that you need to be comfortable enough with that person.
There's probably some precautions you could take, I would imagine.
Who's going to do an enema before they fuck?
Okay, well, yeah. I mean,
really?
If that happens, then you're putting too much thought into it and
exactly.
take all the impulsiveness out of it, right?
I mean, also, I have said it before, I'll say it again. You need to listen to Sex with Emily podcast. She has many episodes talking about anal and ways that you can get through it, like if it hurts or you haven't done it before, ways to prepare for it.
Yeah.
She's got many episodes, long episodes on how to do anal and all of that business. Seriously.
Yeah, check out Sex with Emily.
Try out Sex with Emily.
I thought we were going to have Sex with Emily.
We're going to have Sex with Emily.
We're going on her show?
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay.
Just haven't done it yet.
When's that happening?
I got another person here, Sarah Drover Phillips, who said that threesome, how do I find a hot girl that's not crazy? I think
good luck with that, because the hotter they are, the fucking crazy they are.
Yeah,
pretty
kinda,
much, right?
yeah.
Doesn't that kind of go hand in hand?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much. Is that like
kinda,
the rule of thumb or forefinger? Is it like is it like the hotter they are, like the fucking more batshit they are? Like now that would make you fucking completely insane.
You know what though? If you're just gonna fuck and it's gonna be like just a random thing, like, and you're not planning it and you're not gonna do it again with that person, who cares if they're crazy? Just fuck and get it over with and don't do it again.
Yeah, but then you got a stalker. Then you got you got to deal with like.
It's got to be anonymous.
Yeah, they're following you home.
Anonymous.
And all that. Yeah.
Anonymous.
Yeah, we've talked about that. If that were to ever happen, we have to wear a fucking mask and go to like some other foreign country.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody following us home.
Yeah. So this one guy, Benjamin Metcalf, said, I'm down for trying anal so long as it isn't a dude. Yeah, I know, I'm a hipster or whatever. And then I said, but regarding anal, do you mean giving or getting? Because if he says I'm into anal, does that mean, right? It could be either way. He wrote, never received, but would be willing to try from the perspective of a lady, not a horned-up dude. Skip would wreck me.
Listen, Benjamin, I can't even make it happen over here on this side. So, yes, I would definitely wreck you.
He would wreck you. Yeah. Listen to this. This is funny. This guy, Derek Preston Steiger, he posted this picture of this saying. A real relationship involves arguing, crying, love, hurt, joy, and most importantly, some good ass sex. Now, does that mean some good ass sex? Or does that mean some good ass sex?
Yeah, I want to have some good ass sex.
Right, because there's no dash in this sentence, so I wonder which way it means.
Out of all the people that have answered this question, there's been one I want to have a three-way, and then everything else has been about ass sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that like the most taboo thing to do anymore? Like, I thought it was almost like mainstream, right?
Yeah.
Like,
listen to this shit. Somebody wrote. The same guy wrote. Never did the tongue punch on the fart box yet, Chris.
Tongue punch on the fart box.
Tongue punch.
That's awesome.
That's great. And with that being said, that's everything we got.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap on tongue punch on the fart box.
But you know what? Actually, I just wanted to remind everybody about our website, hammerandnailspodcast.com, because you can listen to the podcast there. And you can also get episode summaries there and links to the products that we talked about, and what else?
Yeah,
pictures, if we have pictures about what we talked about.
Links, because I give a lot of tips usually. Actually, on the website, you'll find a bunch of tips, and there's products that we talk about. So if you guys want to use some of the things that I recommend, you can click right on it.
Yeah, and also, we have Amazon banners also. And if you wouldn't mind bookmarking our Amazon onto your internet browser, it really helps us out a lot.
It's the holiday season.
It's the holiday season.
You're going to be shopping on Amazon.
It doesn't cost you anything extra to do that. It just helps us out because it does cost money to make a podcast, and it's free to use, so help us out.
Well, it costs money to talk about the tongue punch on the fart box.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And actually, that's exactly what we're going to do.
We appreciate people doing that.
We're going to wrap this thing up because all of this talk has got me moderately aroused. I actually have
got a chub.
Probably about 60% chub right now, working my way up to full chub.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bedell.
I want to remind everybody, if you're new, also please be kind and rewind. Listen to the older episodes because if you like this one, there is good shit. There is good shit in the archives.
Yeah. There's lots of good stuff in there. Lots of cool episodes.
Lots of cool stuff. There's a lot of
recorded
funny
all over the place,
shit.
all different locations, and lots of fun stories.
Yeah, we had good times. Good times.
Please remember to go on our social media on Facebook and Twitter and give us your questions, because as you can see, we love answering them.
Yeah, we love interacting with you guys and answering your questions.
You guys rock!
Yeah, you guys rock. We love
you.
giving you props. And yeah, we want to remind you again, we really, really appreciate all of you, and we really love how kind you've been to us, and we love when you write to us. We're very thankful. So once again, thank you for listening to Hammer
Thanks
and
for all
Nails.
the support, guys, and we will catch you next time.
Next
Later.
time. Bye-bye.
This is Carolla Digital.